Thank you once again, Njord and panelists, for an excellent panel. So still sticking with the banking theme, I'd now like to introduce another soloist speaker. His name is Raoul Gufflet. Have I said his surname correctly? I'm not sure, and I hope he's here. Raoul, if you could come up to the stage, that would be fantastic. Raoul is the group CEO of SBM Holdings. He spent close to 3 decades in the banking and financial sector across many jurisdictions. Prior to joining the SBM Group, he was deputy CEO of a renowned bank in Mauritius and served as the director of several of its entities across Africa and the Indian Ocean, where he led the transformation of most of its business lines and was instrumental in developing its corporate and institutional banking arm. Raoul is a firm believer in ESG principles, responsible banking and finance, and is committed to developing a sustainable banking and capital market philosophy. So, Raoul, welcome to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very pleased to meet you all today. I've been asked to make a 10-15 minutes introduction to the Mauritian IFC as the ideal hub for linking Africa and Asia for trade and investment. And I think the best way to introduce it to you is to recommend that you attend the 10 o'clock meeting tomorrow in room number 4, where you will have a very clear discussion and presentation about the Mauritius International Financial Center, which will be greeted by the Honorable Minister of Financial Services and Good Governance. And I think this is where you will get most of the principles and ambitions of Mauritius as an IFC. As an introduction, and before I delve into the slides that I've tried to prepare, which is a blend of why Mauritius and why the bank that I'm honored to represent today, SBM. I don't know if Rajneesh is still here, but he raised a very good pertinent questions earlier on about the trade and settlement and what is required when you want to find the right settlement currencies. And I think it's not just about settlement currencies. I think it's about how good your financial center is. And I think Mauritius is at the crossroads of what is it that companies who trade in and out of Africa are requiring. I only have a few minutes, so I'll just go quickly into Africa. I'm not going to tell you much about Africa. You're all here because you've been there, you've spent a lot of time, you've invested, and you've generated revenues out of the companies and advisory firms that you've been working on. It's an untapped potential, it's abundant opportunities, it's diverse landscapes, rich natural resources, youth, dynamic population, fertile ground for innovation. Land of opportunities that hasn't yet been fully harvested. But most importantly, it's home to the world's fastest growing economies. Ethiopia, Ghana, Rwanda, which are consistently experiencing high growth rates of their GDPs. The continent population is expanding at very fast rates. It presents a very significant consumer market, big labor force contributing to its economic expansion. FDI has always been on the rise for the past 6-7 years. I've mentioned the resources, the unparalleled significance of a treasure trove of natural resources, fertile soil. And these resources not only drive the own economic development of the continent, but also it plays a crucial role in global supply chains. And it makes Africa a cornerstone of the world resource landscape. Obviously, Africa is experiencing a demographic transformation unparalleled. It has historic proportions. Population is growing rapidly. Urbanizing is growing at an astonishing rate. As the fastest growing continent, Africa is expected to see its population double to 2.5 billion by 2050. This demographic shift is accompanied by a significant move towards urban areas, which African cities are expanding, evolving into big hubs of economic activity. These are all mega trends, you know, and these represent opportunities and challenges that you also all know. There is a significant rise in income levels, emergence of a burgeoning consumer class, and this expanding middle class and middle income bracket with the purchasing powers on the rise is driving consumer demand for a wider range of goods and services. This all means that you have a significant transformative trend in Africa. And you've all been here, and you're all here because you see this potential. Africa is also embracing digital advances. It's ushering an era of innovation, connectivity, fintech solutions, mobile banking, e-commerce are flourishing. Innovations like mobile health apps are improving access to healthcare services. I've seen a couple of booths here about the promotion of health services. Mauritius is also very, very much engaged into its positioning into the health services area. African tech hub startups are gaining significant global recognitions more and more for their ingenuity, and the investment in digital infrastructure are paving the way for the repositioning of Africa. The continent has committed to significant economic reforms, investment in education, skills development, improvements in infrastructure, and this is all yielding positive results. Trade policies and incentives are also gaining prominence in Africa, as all nations seek to strengthen regional and international trade, foster economic growth, and also, as importantly, impact investing is also gaining significant momentum. Investors increasingly recognize the continent's potential, and the rise of all the greening supply chains in Africa reflects this commitment to sustainable practices, environmental responsibility, which is aligning with global efforts to address climate change and promote eco-friendly business operations. So where does Mauritius fit into this? Not just that. Mauritius is no longer just the tropical island lost in the middle of the Indian Ocean. It is emerging. It is not even emerging. It is a well-renowned international financial center of international repute and substance. Indeed, Mauritius stands as a secure, stable, reliable gateway and hub for trade and investment, serving as an ideal conduit into the flourishing markets of both Africa and Asia. In Mauritius, we have a cultivated, highly conducive business environment, and that makes us an attractive destination for entrepreneurs and corporations alike. Mauritius has a well-established legal framework, transparent regulatory system, efficient bureaucracy, and the country fosters a climate of trust and ease of doing business. It has, over the years, become renowned for its stable political environment, robust framework, and tax incentives. Mauritius also plays a pivotal role in access to a wide range of international treaties and protocols, and that makes it an invaluable partner for business and investors. Mauritius has an extensive network of DTAs, IPPAs, trade agreements, and it's been facilitating trade, investment, and financial transactions for more than 15 years. Mauritius obviously enjoys an attractive and viable geographic position. It is nested between Africa and Asia, and all the promotion that has been made over the past 10 years is really trying to bridge this corridor between Asia and Africa. This unique location has transformed the island into a vital bridge between those two dynamic continents. It has facilitated seamless connectivity, fostering economic and commercial ties across this global corridor. Mauritius also boasts a very robust, well-capitalized, highly liquid banking and financial services industry. Our jurisdictions promotes 3 core pillars of growth: cross-border investment, cross-border corporate banking, and private banking and wealth management. Obviously, we're committed to innovation, transparency, compliance with international standards. And this is why we believe in Mauritius, as part of all the African regional conglomerates, SADC, COMESA, African Union, that we offer a welcoming destination for those who seek to thrive in a dynamic competitive marketplace. I think this slide will say it all. Mauritius is the only financial center in Africa to hold an investment-grade status. And this adds a unique layer of appeal to our already compelling investment landscape. I'm not going to go through all of the details of how Moody does the rating. Most of the rating agencies are here. You all understand those 4 pillars of credit profile that rating agencies are looking. But I think it's worth spending some time for you to understand what is the road that Mauritius has taken and where it is today, and how successful we have been into promoting our international financial center. As a leading banking financial services player in Mauritius, with a footprint that extends across Africa and Asia, the group I'm proud to represent, SBM, is very well positioned to serve as the conduit to facilitate the trade and the investment flows from those two dynamic regions. The SBM indeed occupies a very strategic positioning. We have a very strong, well-established presence in Mauritius. We boast a very robust stock profile. We hold the prestigious position of being the 3rd largest listed company on the official market of the Stock Exchange of Mauritius. And as at the end of June 2023, we had a market cap of 13.7 billion, which is roughly about $400 million. The banking group is also listed. It is held by 18,000 individual shareholders, which demonstrates the interest and the positioning our group has in the financial services industry landscape in Mauritius. Our group is headquartered in Mauritius. The bank in Mauritius is the mainstay of the SBM group. It's been present since 1973. We've had the privilege of celebrating our 50-year anniversary last Saturday. And today, this group, the bank in Mauritius, serves customers all across the segment via an extensive distribution network and a wide range of products and services. The bank, more importantly, was set up in 1973 to facilitate integration of the unbanked. And this is the very purpose of the creation of SBM 50 years ago. And ever since, it has been a notable contributor to the social economic development of Mauritius, so much so that we are classified, according to the regulator standards, as a domestically, systemically important bank. I'm not here to make the advertising of our bank. I will be here over the next few days and we can engage. Obviously, SBM Bank provides a comprehensive suite of all the traditional and advanced banking products and services. We obviously go beyond those traditional banking, and we provide access to non-banking financial services through the group non-banking arms. My colleague Shailen has been participating into a panel earlier this morning, and for those who've had the chance to listen to him, I hope you've understood what is it that we want to do in the capital market, as well as helping the growth of our financial services industry. Just a few figures about our result. The bank is steadily consolidating its strong financial performance, our positioning in the market. We have very strong foundation, highly talented workforce, not just at SBM, all across Mauritius, and this is what makes one of the key determining factors of the positioning of Mauritius as an international financial center. SBM is equipped to support its customer base, support investors who would like to domicile their business into Mauritius, all those businesses who would span across India and Asia and Africa. And we believe that we stand as a cornerstone of the Mauritius economic agenda, playing this pivotal role in fostering growth and facilitate trade and investment. This is how I wanted to briefly talk to you about how Mauritius can really position itself as the ideal hub for positioning, linking Africa and Asia and all the trade and investment through its very stable legal environment, strategic positioning, stable financial sector, and favorable business climate. I really encourage you to come to this presentation tomorrow, where you get much more insight about Mauritius as an IFC. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Raoul. I'm introducing our last session for this particular slot, again, still focusing on banking. So I'm going to introduce Charles Buchanan, who will in turn then introduce his high-level keynote speaker from the Mauritian government. Charles Buchanan is Senior Manager of Ernst & Young. He brings over 20 years of experience in the financial services industry across many regions, including in Africa. In 2022, he was a member of the team that executed a 1.5 billion blue bond-based debt restructuring in Ecuador, lowering debt costs and protecting over 200,000 square kilometers of ocean around the Galapagos. Charles is based in South Africa. So welcome, Charles.